Hello and welcome to Garbage Queen of Arkham. I am Darcy Bits, and this is my Lola Haze playthrough of Path of Carcosa, specifically with the deck built around the discard pile. Last time we died horribly, but I don't. Did we die? No, I think we doomed out. Yeah, we doomed out, and it was like totally fine. It was not a big deal. But even though I only made one experience, I have a few changes. I've decided to cut all of the Seeker from my deck, excluding, of course, things like the permanents. And to that effect, since the Seekers were satisfying the condition of at least 7 cards from each of 3 different classes, I had to replace my Seeker with Rogue. To do that, I am picking up Easy Mark. For 1 experience, I can get 3 copies. And then I am adaptabling in 2 Slipaways. I don't really think Easy Mark's a great fit for the deck, to be honest. It's maybe not the best use of my experience, but to satisfy that condition, it felt like a good idea. I think I'm going to maybe have a little bit of trouble keeping up the firepower with the removal of a Sledgehammer, which honestly feels way too slow to ever actually use, and Occult Invocation, which seems good. I've always had difficulty getting into Seeker. It's more cumbersome than it feels like it should be, and that's the main reason I want to cut the Seeker from the deck, is that getting into and out of Seeker just feels like a massive pain. I still have a couple Seeker cards. I think I've got some Magnifying Glasses in the deck, because, you know, set it and forget it once you have those in play. They just sit as an asset, and I don't even need to activate them. I don't need to go back into Seeker. So that's the plan for right now, and an update for what we did using adaptables and all that good stuff. So with that out of the way, we're moving on to the Unspeakable Oath, which is right here. So let's buckle up. Check the campaign log. If the followers of the sign have found the way forward, read intro 1. I believe they did, right? They're right here. In your campaign log, record the followers of the sign have found the way forward. Yep. Wake up, Daniel. The words echo in your thoughts as you pace through the disheveled room, trying to make sense of what you just experienced. You had awoken that afternoon with a violent startle, your body shaking, bedsheets soaked with sweat. Although you'd slept a healthy 8.5 hours, you feel even more exhausted than you had the previous night. You catch a glimpse of your dark, bloodshot eyes in the mirror next to the dresser. You wonder if you've gotten any real sleep at all. Who is Daniel, you wonder? The chamber, from your dream, looked like a prison, but the man, Daniel, he seemed unhinged, as though he wasn't in control of his mind. This led to only one conclusion: an asylum. Knowing you'll get little rest here, you head towards Arkham Asylum, hoping your hunch is correct. Continue to intro 3. As you enter the asylum, you stop to speak with the receptionist. Though you feel your body urged to step deeper into the clutches of this madhouse, he gives you a confused expression as you tell him of the King in Yellow and of Daniel. But at your insistence, he pores through his file cabinet, eventually pulling out a stark white folder. Inside is a wealth of information about the patients admitted to the asylum, medical records, psychiatric evaluations, and the like. You recognize a few of the faces as he flips through the pages. Daniel Chesterfield, yes? He is admitted under the special care of Dr. Mintz. But you can't see him. His level is restricted to staff only. You argue and insist to be led into the patient wing, knowing that Daniel must hold the key to understanding what is really going on. The receptionist gives a pitying smile and relents, nodding to the security guard nearby. Oh, of course, he says, with all the honesty of a street peddler. I will schedule a meeting for you with Dr. Mintz so you can speak with him about Daniel. These gentlemen will see you in. Relieved that you will soon get the answers you seek, You are escorted into the patient wing of Arkham Asylum. If Constantine remains listed under VIP's interviewed, proceed to Constance's information. Who did we interview again? I don't remember. It wasn't her. It was someone else. I'm just curious now because I forgot. Everyone's dead! Thank you, notes. I make great notes. Haruko. Yes, okay. Skip the setup. Gather the cards. Okay, that should be done for us. From these sets, set each monster enemy among the gathered encounter sets aside in a separate pile. There should be 7 enemies in total. I think that's these ones. Yes, monster. Set the lunatics aside. Okay. Randomly choose 1 copy of Asylum Hall's Eastern Patient Wing and 1 copy of Asylum Hall's Western Patient Wing. Remove those copies from the game, then put the remaining Asylum Halls into play. Each investigator begins play at the Asylum Hall of their choosing. Are these the 2? Western, Western, Eastern, Eastern. Okay, cool. Great. I guess I'll shuffle and then remove 1. Great. Simple. Set aside the following cards. They should be already in here. Put the following locations into play: the mess hall, the kitchen, the yard, garden, infirmary, and basement hall. See suggested location, placement. Based on your difficulty level, add the following chaos tokens to the bag for the remainder of the campaign. I am on standard. I'll be adding a -3. Okay. I believe those are over here. Thank you. Guess I'll leave this here for now. I don't know. Check the campaign log. Depending on the following circumstances, a different version of Act 2 should be used in this scenario. Each other version of Act 2 is removed from the game. If you took the Onyx Clasp, use Act 2, the really bad ones. Otherwise, the really bad ones, version 2. I don't think I took any Onyx Clasp. I feel like I'd remember that. Or have it written down. Yeah, that. Shuffle the remainder of the encounter cards to build the encounter deck. Standalone, do this. Exile. Some player cards must be exiled when they are used. Why are you telling me this now? That seems weird. Huh. Alright. When cards exiled, removed from the game and returned to your collection during the campaign. A card that has been exiled must be purchased again with experience points. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe they just, this Mythos Pass introduced them, maybe? I have no idea why they're telling us that now. Placement, and do not read. Okay, great. So, I get to start at either of these halls, either Western or Eastern. Is that right? Seems correct. Okay. Let's read these first. I wonder if I'm allowed to read these technically. I never really know what the technical order of events is. The patient wing of the asylum is far quieter and lonelier than you had expected. The hall reeks of chemicals and body odor. As soon as you are escorted inside, the doors behind you are closed and locked tight. Aside from the few patients giving you a wide berth, there aren't any orderlies or doctors around to speak with. Looks like you'll have to find Mr. Chesterfield on your own. Interesting. Okay, so I don't have a ton of information to work on. I know I need to get clues. And I would say maybe I'll want to finish this area first and then not have to come back. Sure, I'll start over in the Eastern Halls. Why not? And let's properly shuffle our deck. These are all removed. These are all added. 56. Should be right. Alright. pleasant atmosphere of the reception area disappeared as soon as Dr. Mintz shut the thick iron door behind them. The temperature dropped to a clammy chill, and a foul, sharp stench hung in the air. Mallow O'Meara, the investigators of Arkham Horror. Okay. After you end your turn, at this location, take a horror and gain resources. Okay. Sure. As they walked through the meandering stone halls of the sanatorium, Carolyn began to feel uneasy. It seemed like it would be very easy to get lost. Cool. All right, so we need to do our setup. Draw our 5 cards to start. I'm sitting in the wrong spot once again. Why do I do this every single time? Give me those cards. Those are mine. All right. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Scavenging could be interesting. I always feel like this is going to be useful, and it's not. I think I'm just going to ditch all these, though, actually. Oops. Well, whatever. That's fine. Draw 4 new ones. Okay. I can work with that. And then discard 10. Okay. Okay. A dog. Okay. 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 My monitors went black? Okay, it's fine. That was weird. Hopefully all of you can still see everything fine. I didn't like disconnect or something weird. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. This might be a little tricksy. Not a lot of useful stuff in the discard pile, and a lot of useful stuff in the discard pile. Whew. Okay, okay. How do we want to start this? Well, first thing, technically, again, I do this wrong every single time, so if anybody's watching and taking notes, don't do it like this. Short supply happens when your first turn of the game begins, and I'm supposed to choose a roll after I draw my opening hand. Don't, theoretically, you can change your mind, right? If I discarded a whole bunch of Survivor, I might want to do Survivor even if I have none in my hand, and that would be incorrect to do. You're acting on information you don't have. So, just pointing that out. In this case, I'm going to take Survivor. I only have Survivor cards and neutral cards, so it's kind of moot. All right, so we're going to see if we can get some of those trinkets out of our discard pile and back into our hand. Is there, what's the DC here? 2? Okay, if I'm lucky, I might be able to make that work. Let's try it. Let's spend 1 resource to get scavenging into play. That'll be your first action. And then investigate by 2 or more. Okay. 2 or more is going to be kind of difficult to actually succeed at. Right now, the odds aren't even great that I even succeed at all. I'm 1 up. So. Maybe I'll move first. Yeah, let's move into the infirmary. The scratched plaque on this wooden door reads, Infirmary. This must be where the doctors treat their patients. Oh, this is 3. As an action, heal a horror and take 1 direct horror. Or heal a horror and take 1 direct damage. I see. Now we know that if I end my turn here, I'm going to take horror. Which isn't great. Interesting. I feel like the basement's... Oh! The door leading to the basement hall is locked. You cannot enter the basement hall. I'm glad I read that before I went in. Whew. Did not realize that. Okay. That's my bad. I should be reading things properly. Can I get a dog in play? Let's get a dog in play. Beautiful. That's my turn. Moving to the upkeep. Great. And 1 extra. We'll ditch... Fortuitous Discovery is already actually pretty good. It's online. And I probably will want that Investigate. It's +1 and get +1 clues. Not too shabby. I'm gonna want that money though, aren't I? Like, putting 3 Fortuitous Discovery in your deck just so that the third one is good seems like not great. I'm gonna want that money. But also, Fortuitous Discovery could help me activate my scavenging and get something out of the discard pile. I'm gonna regret this. I'll discard Faustine Bargain. Make sure there's nothing weird happens over here that I forgot about. Nope, doesn't say anything. Just after 2 Doom, that ticks over. And I need to get 3 clues. Alright. Speaking of which, this goes up to 1. We'll shuffle this to make sure it's shuffled. I'm not supposed to shuffle these in, right? They are specifically set aside? Yeah, okay. Corrosion. Discard item assets from your play area and or from your hand with a total printed resource cost of at least X, where X is the shroud value of your location. If no cards are discarded by this effect, corrosion gains surge. Okay, I think no cards are discarded. I have no items. Yeah, it just gains surge. Straitjacket. Item. Clothing. If there's no copy of Straitjacket in your threat area, put Straitjacket into play in your threat area. As an asset that takes up a body slot and 2 hand slots. Return each asset in those slots to your hand. Unless it doesn't just straight discard them, that's nice. This card cannot leave play except by the ability below. 2 actions, discard Straitjacket. What are you doing? I'm not crazy. Okay, so I've been put in a straitjacket. I thought there was no orderlies. Who put this on me? I don't understand. Alright. Well, once again, and this is something I've like learned as a first time player of solo campaigns. Whew, it's rare to get more than 1 clue, isn't it? These like items that let me get extra clues seem less useful than I would like. And maybe it's a waste to use them here. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, I think I actually want to move over here and pick up this clue. I'm going to spend 1 resource to play Fortuitous Discovery, and I'm also going to commit a Glimmer of Hope to it. That's not good. It's a 0. What? Either randomly choose an enemy from the set-aside monster enemies and place it beneath the act, or this test automatically fails instead. What? Make me make an uninformed decision. Okay. So I'm sitting at 5 to 2, which will allow me to activate my scavenging. What do I specifically need? A magnifying glass would be really good. A meat cleaver would be really good. There's magnifying glass is possibly the best choice here, but also the meat cleavers are only in my discard pile. So I think I want to go with the meat cleaver. Like, just because if I don't, like, I can't draw one, but I could still theoretically draw a magnifying glass. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to place a monster underneath the act. This seems like a bad choice, but I think I need the momentum. It's a random one? Yeah. Place it beneath the act deck. Wait, the act deck? Deck. Do they mean the encounter deck? Like it's the bottom card of the... Or no, this is a deck. Yeah. Okay, great. Perfect. Okay. I'm sure nothing bad will happen with that. It's not like it's a Elder Thing token or anything. Alright, cool. That means I also get the clue. Haha. And we're going to get that meat cleaver. This is going to go over here. Hang out with the other fortuitous discovery. Great. And then I'm going to move again into the western patient wing. The pleasant atmosphere of the reception area disappeared as soon as Dr. Minch. Is this the same text? I think so. Alright, I'll move. Boop. No clues. After you defeat a lunatic enemy at this location, draw a card. Oh, sweet. Nice. What a good place to hang out. I feel good about this so far. I will have to burn a turn getting rid of this and putting this into play. That's okay. I'm also broke. Faustian bargain, how you taunt me. Alright. Upkeep. An extra one. Ooh, okay. Okay, interesting. Shoes are pretty good. But I can't actually use them. I need to use improvisation more. It's like actually really strong with its discount. Let's forget about it. Switch into... I got to go into Rogue, play this, and then improvise back into Survivor and play the Meat Cleaver for free. Maybe the track shoes too. Seems nice. Doom advances. Speaking with the patients is proving more difficult than you had assumed. They eye you cautiously and refuse to answer any of your questions, backing away or fleeing to if confronted. Either they're not used to guests or something about you is causing them a considerable amount of distress. Some act like animals backed into a corner, and you think at any moment they might strike. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and each of the set-aside lunatic enemies into the encounter deck. The lead investigator must randomly choose an enemy from among the set-aside monster enemies and place it beneath the act deck without looking at it. Okay. Cool. The longer you spend in this hellish place, the more you want to leave. Already it has felt like days. You fear that if you are stuck here much longer, you will become like the patients, a husk of your former self, unruly and dangerous. Can I say, I don't understand where the, like, trope of the, like, creepy asylum comes from. Like, I feel like asylums should be pretty well maintained, like they're medical environments, right? Like, be clean. Why is everything always dirty in an asylum? I guess the same reason as like a creepy abandoned dirty hospital, right? It's creepy, that's why. Alright, what do I get? Oh, hello. Whispers in your head, anxiety. Peril, hidden, revelation. Secretly add this to your hand. You cannot trigger quick abilities. I need to trigger quick abilities. That's important. Alright. Okay. Sweet. I think I start by just doing that, because this is a quick ability. Like, I'm a little stuck if I can't. Yeah. Alright. That's 2 actions. This is discarded. And, yeah, let's switch into... I know that... So, I haven't talked about this card yet. I just added this to my deck. It is Myriad, which means you can add 3 copies, and gain 2 resources, then draw a card. As a reaction, after you play Easy Mark, you may play another one. So it's better if you have multiple in your hand to guarantee, but you could always draw it off the top and play it again. That's unlikely to happen, but it's still, like, not a terrible use of my turn. 2 resources and a card, not too shabby. Would be nice if I can get rid of this. I guess I can play it. Either way, I think I will do that. I'm feeling a little bit poor. I want to be able to get some weapons into play. So we're going to switch into Rogue, which should be this one. Nice, nailed it. And we will play that for my last action. Need 2 resources? And draw a card. Okay. Sweet. This probably shouldn't still be in my deck. The only things I have that I can call in favors for are dogs. But, you know, if a dog's hurt, I could bounce it to my hand, get a new dog, put both into play. Yeah, it's not bad. Decent way of finding another dog. Either way, that's my turn. And then I'll have to do it again next turn on the straitjacket. Yay. Off to a roaring start, as usual. Alright, Scruncher supplies. Okay. There we go. We can use this. Get ourselves some supplies. Yeah, this is any item. And this is any level 0 card. We also prepare for the worst, which lets us find a weapon. I think we're okay for weapons. So let's put the prepare for the worst in here. And move on. This should be at 1 now because it went to 0. And we're just going to add 1 doom right away. Let's try another card. The Yellow Sign. Test 4. Mind. If you fail, take 2 horror. Then search your deck for a madness weakness. Draw that card. Shuffle your deck. Is like... Why would I have a madness weakness in my deck? Huh. Alright. I still don't want to fail this, but I also don't really know what to do. I could like quick into Meat Cleaver, but I don't think I want to do that. I'm testing 3 to 4. So even if I commit this, I'm only 1 up. I think I'm just gonna have to fail this. What a slap in the face that is. Alright. Yeah, no, I fail. I take 2 horror and I search my deck for madness. I'll put 1 of the horror on this dog. Lovely here. Share my trauma with me. Make things less harsh for me. Search your deck for a madness. Okay. Do I have a madness weakness? Oh, hey! That's a madness weakness. Interesting. Do I have any other madness weaknesses? Well, yeah, that. This is an injury. And then the man is not a madness. Wow, convenient that I have a madness. Maybe does everyone have one? They're not all madnesses. Wild. Wild. That's amazing. Yeah, I have a crisis of identity. Cool. That's not actually a big deal for me. I'd rather draw this now. This is kind of a good thing. Weirdly enough. It's not wasting one of my draws. And it's not hitting anything bad right now. Okay. Cool. So, crisis of identity. Discard all cards you control of your current role. I have none. And then discard a card and see what you become. I think I shuffled this, but we'll do it again. I'm going into Guardian. Okay. Not super useful, but not a big deal either. Interesting. Weird. I think, honestly, we're probably just going to shake the straitjacket and equip a weapon. So this actually whiffs. If you're wearing the straitjacket, a new one doesn't gain surge if you draw a new one. Huh. Interesting. Maybe I should hold off on that. You're gonna regret that probably. Probably. Where am I? I'm here. I've done like no exploring. Mess hall, yard, kitchen. The garden. You cannot enter the garden. Okay. Yeah, let's check out the, Oh, this is also locked. Everywhere's locked. Was I supposed to be able to go in the infirmary, too? No, I was allowed to go in the infirmary. Okay, so there's actually very few spots we can go. Just the mess hall and the yard. Okay. What's my best play? I'm going to switch into Guardian no matter what. Not Guardian, into, Survivor. Unless I want to use improvisation, switch into Survivor, play like shoes for free, then play Scratch for Supplies, find me something useful, whatever that may be, like a sled dog. That could be kind of nice. I mean, I did want this deck to be largely built around sled dogs, and I've only, like, actually had sled dogs in play for, like, the first scenario. I think I'm going to do that. Let's take some big swings instead of being so cautious. I'm going to play Improvisation. It's fast, doesn't take an action. It lets me switch my role without it costing me a role switch. So I'm going to switch to Survivor. Then, until the end of your next turn, reduce the resource cost of the next card you play of your roll by 3, and then draw a card. This draw card is such a weird choice, because it means I could just immediately draw my my weakness, the one we just saw earlier, the Crisis of Identity, which I think is odd. I think that's just a weird choice. Like, at least let me get, like, one play out before I draw this card, but nope. Okay, cool. So, I'm going to play these shoes for free. That'll cost me an action. And Straight Jacket isn't shoes. Then for my second action, I'm going to play Scrounge for Supplies. And we are going to gain the dogs. Then we're going to play the dogs for 3. And honestly, other than saving like the 3 resources, which you can see I have 2 left, so if I didn't, I would have failed to be able to play both of these things at once. This is on that dog, not this dog. It's an important distinction. That might have been a poor choice, because I don't think I really needed to use another class right now. Oh well. Tempo. Let's call it tempo. And that's my whole turn, right? I played this, I played this, I played that. Yeah, great. Moving on. Still have a Straight Jacket. Upkeep. That's my Crisis of Identity. Here you are. And what do I lose? Okay, interesting. I won't be able to capitalize on these 2. Although I can pick them up if I use like another Scrounge for Supplies. Interesting. But I'm forced to discard this, which makes all of these not really relevant anymore. And Crisis of Identity says, hey, guess what? You're still Seeker. Remember how you should have switched at the end of your turn and didn't? Yeah. Yeah, I do remember how I didn't switch at the end of my turn. I definitely should have. That's on me. Should have done it. Didn't do it. Should have done it. Track shoes go away. And scavenging goes away. I then discard the top card of my deck. And I become a survivor again. It is weird how Crisis of Identity can, like, mess you up even if you don't change identities. Like, it's weird to not be like, discard a card and change to that thing if you changed discard. I mean, obviously they're supposed to be bad. You don't want it to be able to whiff. It's supposed to be bad. It's just weird. It's just super weird. All right, well, I'm back to square one, but I have 2 dogs, so everything is all right with me. As long as I've got some dogs, I think I'll be okay. We'll go up to Doom 2, draw another card. Dance of the Yellow King. If there are no lunatic enemies in play, this gains Surge. Okay. Sweet. Why'd I go over there? Another one? What's this time? Gift of Madness. Pity. Peril. Hidden. Secretly add this to your hand. You cannot attack lunatic enemies. That's not good. As an action, randomly choose one enemy from among the set-aside monster enemies. Place it beneath the act deck without looking at it. I mean, I think I have to, right? I guess I don't have to attack lunatics. But, like, I'm going to need to eventually, or evade them, and I don't think I can evade them all the time. It's amazing, though. Gift of Madness is pity. This is the, like, you pity them, so you don't murder these innocent people. I mean, that seems like a reasonable thing to not do, but also I'm scared that I really can't get away with not murdering them. Wow! Alright, I think we're just going to spend a turn burning everything. So I'm going to activate Gift of Madness Pity. That'll put a random monster under this act. Yay. Then we will shake the straitjacket for the other two. And that's my whole turn. This is why I don't get anything done. Alright, well, we do have Miss Doyle, which is cool, but without the Rod of Animism, I can't play them because it'll overwrite my sled dogs. That said, I'm doing kind of okay on resources. I think I will hold Miss Doyle for when I do get the Rod of Animism. Assuming that happens. That's 26 cards. There's a chance. Cool. Moving on. That's Doom 3. I have accomplished nothing so far. So that's... Oh, dang it. This is what I was talking about. Okay. Cool. Good. Fine. I guess I'll just not... I'm gonna move over here. This is my action. After you successfully investigate, choose and discard a card from your hand. Okay. DC is 2. It's got 2 this time. Wow, it would be really cool if I had some ability to, like, investigate and get more than one clue. That would be rad. But I don't. DC's 2, you're telling me there's a chance. Maybe I should explore a bit more, though, so I don't end up in, like, a bad situation later. Yeah, I think I'll... Oh, that's locked. I forgot it was locked. No, I'll do stuff here. Yeah, let's investigate. Okay, that succeeds. I'm 3-2. Beautiful. Choose and discard a card from your hand. Well, don't mind if I do. I will discard this card. Thank you. Great. And let's just do it again. That succeeds as well. Okay. So, as much as everything else is not going well for me, the actual tokens drawn haven't been so bad. Oh, actually... Right, I don't have that anymore. Never mind. Now that would have been an investigation at 2+, but it doesn't matter. We'll get rid of calling in favors. And we'll upkeep. Another dog, okay. And impromptu barrier. Okay, cool. I've started to think impromptu barrier is not great, but it is nice that I can play it from my discard pile. So that's something. Cool. Alright. You know what? Maybe this is looking up. I did say that, so that would be ironic when it blew up on my face. Ooze and Filth. Put this into play next to the agenda deck. Each location has +1 Shroud. At the end of the round, discard this. That's not terrible. I mean, it's going to be hard to do stuff, but that's okay. That's fine. So, dogs can have 2 in 1 slot. So I still need the Rod of Animism until you can play the third dog. Okay. We will move, and then we'll move again. I didn't read these intros, I just realized. The fresh air and the illusion of freedom makes the asylum's courtyard a common gathering place for patients. Through the barred windows, dead tree branches sway in the wind. Gray, overcast skies trap the asylum in a dull limbo. While you're investigating the yard, it gets +1 Shroud for each horror on you. Holy crap. As an action, if there are no clues on the yard, take a damage and remember that you incited a fight among the patients? I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound great. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized something. I have enough clues. Sweet. I think this is technically, you can take this as a quick action whenever. So... yeah, I guess I'll spend this now. I spent 2... maybe that's a bad idea because I don't have enough actions to, like, react to what happens, but gonna do it anyway because it's fine. Because it's fine, that's why. Alright, let's advance. Turning a corner, you nearly bump into a nurse with light brown hair and sharp features. You tell her about the violent patients. There haven't been any violent patients. And the strange things you've seen. But she doesn't listen. When you inquire about Daniel, she informs you that he is a patient of Dr. Mintz. And that he resides in a secure basement level. Unfortunately, she refuses to let you into that area of the asylum. The investigators must decide. Choose one. Either investigate, test for fist to intimidate her into giving you the key. If successful, advance to 2A. Nice. If it failed, you must choose an option you have yet to choose. And the investigator must test 4 feet to steal the keys from her. Advance to 2A. If you fail, choose another option. And the investigator tests 4 to persuade her to give you the keys. If successful, advance to 2A. If failed, you must choose an option you have yet to choose. You can also choose to knock her over and grab the keys. Remember that you took the keys by force. Intimidating is not taking them by force. Advance to 2A. Okay, so I guess the only downside in trying is that you could hit one of these failure things. And these aren't actually very bad. They're like hard, right? But they're not like harsh. I guess the skull is. If you fail, randomly choose an enemy from the set aside monsters, place it beneath the act deck without looking at it. So I don't expect to succeed with any of these. I think I'm just gonna not give myself the chance of failing via the like monster like skulls. Like even with the I guess the squid heart's not so bad because I'll just choose to automatically fail and that's fine. Yeah, depending on how many skulls are available. It's the only one that's actually bad. And, you know, there are +1s. There are Elder Signs. Okay. I do notice that none of these have, like, clauses to remember them. Not that one, sorry. This one. Right? The only one that says you have to remember something is the last one. So it's... I might as well try, I guess. Okay. Okay. Do I want to commit something from my hand? I could use Calling in Favors to commit a book or a foot. I think I'm just going to try these raw and see what happens. Let's try to pickpocket first. That's an auto fail. Okay. Let's try... This is not an action, right? This is just a choice. Yeah, good. Okay. Let's try to persuade her. Okay, that's fail. Let's try to intimidate her. Okay. That shouldn't be in there. I clearly forgot to remove those last time. I have not played a Faustian Bargain today. Okay, so that actually will give us a random monster. So, would have been better to just not. But, that's okay. Beautiful. Let's also remove these. Oh, no, we'll move them via the interface. I don't know why, but I assume it's better, so I will do so. All right, great. All right, and so yeah, we have to just remember that we took the keys by force and advanced to Act 2A. Oh, I think I was supposed to set this up properly. We're using version 2, right? I don't think I remembered to do that during setup. Otherwise, use Act 2A. The really bad ones are version 2. Okay. So we'll just set this aside and not worry about that. Daniel is somewhere in the secured basement where the most dangerous patients are kept. Now that you have the key, you can explore this area of the asylum. Ignore the text on the unrevealed side of Arkham Asylum locations. Objective: find the patient confinement location with Daniel Chesterfield. You'll be instructed when to advance. Okay, so I still have one action left, and I'm allowed to go into the garden now. Do I want to? Sure, why not? I've never learned my lesson. As an action, if there's no clues, you may test 2, and if you succeed, you can remember you distracted the guards. It sounds like this is theoretically going to be useful later, but also hard, so I probably won't. Alright, good. Let's move on to upkeep. Oh, a leg injury. Put the leg injury into play in your threat area. It can be healed as if it were a single point of damage. After you take a move, resign, or evade action, you cannot take any of those types of actions for the remainder of the round, or turn. That's going to make it very difficult to get anywhere. But it does say, when you take a move action. So my dogs can move me 2 locations for 1 action. So that might be useful. Because I don't think I have a way of getting rid of this. I guess I could go to the infirmary, but that's a pretty ways away. Probably a good idea once I get close, though. Alright, Doom goes up to 5. And we draw Dance of the Yellow King if there's no lunatic enemies in play. I haven't spawned any lunatic enemies. It's, like, pretty cool. Walls closing in. Test Mind X, where X is the shroud value of your location. Ooh, speaking of which, this goes away, I believe. The end of round. So, that's gone. So my shroud location is 3. If you fail, you must either take a horror for each point you failed by, or randomly choose an enemy from the set aside monster enemies and place it beneath the act deck without looking at it. Well, those both sound bad. Yep. So testing 3. Telling me there's a chance. Boom! We did it. Alright, sweet. Heck yeah! I don't know, the Chaos Bag's been good to me. Everything else has been not. But Chaos Bag's been good to me today. Alright. What am I doing? I think I move once via my dogs to move twice. I said that very perfectly and well worded. And then I'll use my last 2 actions to shrug my straitjacket. Beautiful use of my time. I will then upkeep. I have such a short... Ooh, chance of counter. I forgot this was still in the deck. I need to upgrade these. They seem very good once upgraded. Right now, not so much. Like, I could just evade them and leave them here, and that sounds great. I don't really need the Calling in Favors. That would be 2 up. Is 2 up worth it? What are the odds of getting a 2? X is the amount of horror on you, which is only 1. X is the shroud value, which is 3. 0 is an auto fail or get a monster. The skulls. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna play Impromptu Barrier. And I'm going to commit Calling in Favors to it. To evade. Dang it. Well, I'm going to evade them, because screw it. What's the worst that could happen with all of these monsters showing up at the end of the game, or whatever it is? It's not going to be any worse. It's fine. Alright. They are hanging out. Oh, they're hanging out here, right? I forgot I moved. This might be actually kind of annoying later in the game, now that I think about it. I thought they were going to be hanging out at the garden. Oh well. Most remaining sanity. Yeah, they don't have a. They're not a hunter though. So they're just gonna hang out. They're just gonna hang out. Although I could draw a card if I defeat them. Hey. Cool. So that's my first action. Then I'm going to use my dogs. Ah. Oh, it's nice to actually like put the sled dogs to use again. Like, literally they used it all the time in the first one, and then I just forgot about it from then on. And then my last action, I will heal a damage and take a direct horror to heal my leg injury. It is direct horror, however. And that's all my actions. Sweet. Look at that. Look at that. That's efficiency right there. But also kind of not. Upkeep. Okay. Okay. I could actually do Moonstone for like the first time ever. Let's do it. Why not? Moonstone happens. I spend, you cannot play or commit it from your hand, but after you discard it, you may play it paying its cost. Look at that. Finally got there. I now have a mind and a shoe. I love having a mind and a shoe. Let's go. This ticks over. Well, what do you know? In the back of your mind, a force beckons. Have you seen it? It calls to you. Oh, wait. No. Have you seen it? It calls to you. Glimpsing something in your peripheral vision, you turn and find a familiar symbol peering back at you wherever you look. It is etched upon the doors, drawn on the walls, painted on the patient's canvases. You cannot escape it. The lead investigator must randomly choose an enemy from among the set-aside monsters. Oh. Hope some of these haven't been telling me to shuffle them into the encounter deck this whole time. They might have been. I wasn't reading all of them. I just sort of assumed they were all going under the act deck. Yeah. Okay. There was like one over here, I think, that also referred to that. It was the... This one? Yeah, no, I think I'm fine so far. Okay, cool. Shuffle it into the encounter deck. Then check the campaign log. If Constance's domain is not listed, also spawn them. They are slain. I slain them. Yeah, beneath the act deck. Okay, great. We're fine. Everything's fine. How are you? Do I also shuffle the discard pile in? Shuffles into the encounter deck. Nope. Cool. Great. Flee. Flee while you still can. I mean, this is not the act, so I cannot use it as an objective. When you would place an enemy beneath the act deck, instead shuffle that enemy into the encounter deck. Cool. Great. Well, that's fun. Let's see what happens. Aw, look at this young psychopath. After the young psychopath engages you, you must either take a horror or give them +3 fight until the end of the investigation phase. Okay. Can I evade them? Not easily. But I do have a shoe now. So, that's kind of cool. If dogs could help you evade, that'd be so good. +3 fight. Can I take... If I was going to try and actually take them out, I'd have to hit them twice. This lets me do bonus damage, though, right? Yeah, so I'd be swinging for 5 to 2. Yeah, I'm going to take the horror, I think. We'll put another horror on my other dog. And as our first action, we're going to exhaust these dogs. Attack! That hits. Does 2 damage. Boom. Oh, it's all coming together. It's all coming together. Alright, we're going to move as a second action, and we're going to move as our third action. And I'm sure nothing terrible will happen in the basement. Dank air drifted out of some of the darker hallways. Carolyn asked, do some of these passageways lead underground? Nurse Heather nodded. It's a very old building, Doctor. After the basement hall is revealed, put the 4 set-aside patient confinement locations into play. Where are those? Are they here? Are they set aside? Nope, that's Daniel. Ah, okay. That's a person? Ah, I see. That's all 4. Got it. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Put them into play. Okay. Speaking of victory 1, I wonder how many of these are worth victories. This is worth victory, but I haven't cleared it yet. This is worth victory, but I did clear it. Cool. This is not worth victory. This is not worth victory. You have some special clauses that I could activate and remember. Basically, anytime this game tells you to remember something, you probably should want to do it, but it's fine. We're not going for high score here. We're going for barely surviving. So Moon and Wiggle. Moon and Wiggle. Great. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright. Is that my turn? I did the thing. I moved. Yep. Carry on. I will then upkeep. And draw an extra card. Oh. I wonder which one I should discard. Okay. Doom increases. And this. Corrosion. Discard item assets from your play area and or from your hand with a total printed, I think once again it whiffs, right? Oh no, my meat cleaver. My meat cleaver happens. So how does this technically work? X is the shroud value, which is 4. I believe technically it's like discard as many as you can. You have to discard at least this many if you can discard at least this many, right? So I discard 1, and so it doesn't gain surge. So it's kind of like the most dodging it you can possibly do. I really should have put this into play earlier. I mean, I would have lost it, so it's kind of whatever, but I feel like I should have. That would have been smart. That's my leg injury. For a second, I thought I had something from the Mythos deck in here. Great. Cool. Sweet. This is okay. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm totally doing okay. This is, if I can clear this, I get a victory point. I really need experience. I just want to win one, though. Alright, additional cost to enter, you must spend a clue. Oh. Well, I guess I have to do it anyway. Huh. What the heck do I do here? I could leave and try and investigate someplace that's simpler, like the infirmary. Or I could, go tango with the patient again and check out the yard, which is 3. It'd be 3. And then the garden, which is 3. And the kitchen, which I've never been in. I mean, I guess it's 3. So, yeah, I'm hoping there's more clues in these so I don't have to, leave and come back multiple times. That would be nice. Do I commit Miss Doyle here? I don't want to do that. Is there, any item you could draw that would be useful? Probably not. I mean, yes, there are, right? I could get, a magnifying glass or something. Yeah. Sure, I'm going to actually spend an action to draw. Okay. Okay, interesting. Magnifying glass. I could get it for fortuitous discovery, which would be, better if there was more than one clue here, but that's fine. Track shoes are great, but not really relevant right now. Do I do that just for the magnifying glass? I think you do. Yeah. Alright. I spend my second action playing Scrounge for Supplies. Gets me a level 0 card from my discard pile, which we will choose this one. Goes into my hand. Then I'll switch into Seeker. The nice thing about hitting both of those, both of my things already. Oh, this is fast. I forgot about that. Huh. I could even investigate. I'm 4-4 still. It's still not successful, likely chance. Let's do it anyway. -2. Cool. Okay. But yeah, magnifying glass, it's in play now. What I was saying is one of the nice things about hitting my Crisis of Identity twice already is that I know I'm not going to run into another one. So I don't have to play around it. So that's you know, that's something. A lens into a world unseen can reveal things you wish it hadn't. All right, moving on. Upkeep and draw. Okay, Glimmer of Hope. Sweet, that could be helpful. Resourceful, that could also be helpful. Choose a survivor card. What survivor cards are in here that I might want? Well, Fortuitous Discovery could be really good. True. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll ditch this, which we can always pull back into our hand using its activated ability. And then we can use Resourceful to maybe pull a Fortuitous Discovery out. Yeah, no, this seems good. This seems good. Okay. Doom ticks up to 2. Draw a card. Roach Swarm. Hello. Okay, monsters. Yeah, got it. X is the shroud value of Roach Swarm's location. That's how much fight they have. They need to have 2 hits. Okay, sweet. No, I'm fine with this. Location is 4, which is a lot. So my dogs are going to hang out. But I also have improvised a weapon, which would make them a 3, and I'd be 3 with it. Would do 2 damage, but the dogs do 2 damage already. So I think I'd rather... It's a shame this doesn't have like a fist icon. Like, I get why it doesn't from a design standpoint, but it's like the biggest failing of this whole thing, in my opinion, is just the fact... Alright, I think I actually will use Resourceful here. So we're going to switch into Survivor. Definitely got that in 1. And commit Resourceful. We're attacking using our dogs. I am swinging for 6 versus 4, so I'm only 2 up. Do I want to commit anything else? I could commit another dog. Yeah, let's commit a dog. Dog. 3 up. Yeah! Alright. Sweet. They're gone. Boom. Resourceful succeeds, and I will choose a Fortuitous Discovery. Fortuitous Discovery goes into my hand. The other 2 we'll just set aside for the purposes of saying, yes, in fact, I do have 2 Fortuitous Discoveries in my discard pile. That's awesome. This is, it just gets discarded, right? Yeah, okay. That was my first action. As my second action, do I want to investigate here? I think I do. It's a little bit disappointing because I can't get the bonus clues, but that's okay. I'm going to spend 2 on this. That means I'm investigating at 4 from here, and then 5, 6. Because there are 2 Fortuitous Discoveries in my discard pile. So 6 versus 4. Again, I wish I was 3 up, but I can't really do anything about it, so wish me luck. Okay, cool. That succeeds. This goes into my discard pile. Once again, these 2. I'm just going to leave them here for now in case I get one again. I could switch. I have no means to, or no reason to switch right now, so I'm not going to, but nice that I could. Grab this. That was my second action. Question is, do I want to move at the end of my turn? That has hurt me in the past. We're going to do it anyway. The heavy metal door is firmly shut and locked from the outside. The thin slit that would allow you to peer inside the cell is stuck. But I figured it out. Oh wow, it's DC 5. Well, crap. Dang it. I need some like auto clue discovering. Maybe, yeah, maybe you do. That might be a good idea. Oh well. Spend the clue and move to my upkeep. Upkeep, draw an extra card. Ooh, hello. Been kind of okay for, like, raiding has been kind of difficult, but I've also been kind of okay at dealing with enemies, so I'm not sure if I'm going to need it as much as I probably will. But I'm doing fine on resources. Yeah, let's get rid of Easy Mark. Okay. Move up to 3 out of 8. Ooze and Filth. Okay, then. Great. That is the DC being even harder. Which means I definitely need to go somewhere else. Like, maybe I'll have to go to the infirmary to get my last clue. To try another place, because I can't. I can't. I can't. It's not happening. Okay. I only have 12 cards left. Come on. You know, there's still the Man of the Pallid Mask in there. That's true. That's still in my deck somewhere. Alright. Test 2. Lose the patients from their bonds. We succeed. He howls like a wolf and tears off through the basement. I mean, it lets me do this, so I feel like it's a good idea, but it seems... I mean, they're clearly not keeping them in a good spot. They probably should be free. Yeah. I'm only 1 up on that. I'm just going to try it and see what happens, and if it fails, I'm going to get out of here. -2. Alright, cool. I'm going to use my dogs to save a little bit of time and go whoop whoop. And then I'm going to move again as in the last action. Sweet. Move to upkeep. Nice. And winging it gets to go in my discard pile? Okay. Alright. Heck yeah. I do realize that Rod of Animism will replace my Moonstone. It's unfortunate, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Moving on. This gets discarded. This gets increased by 2/4. And we draw a new friend. The new friend is Descended to Madness. It has Surge. Also, if you have at least 3 horror on you, lose an action. I don't, so that's nice. Patient. That makes sense. There was a patient here to release, and I failed to do so. Oh, wait, no. I'm over here now. Doesn't make sense at all. If you attack them, take a horror. Okay. I don't want to, but also I think I have to. Unfortunate. Well, what you gonna do? I attack. I take a horror. I just remembered something. I have a trauma that I forgot to mark. So, I actually would be at 4 horror, which means when that surge went off, I would have been at 3, so I'm going to lose the action. I do take out the Mad Patient, though, which is nice. And lastly, I'm going to... Do I want to overwrite my Moonstone, or is that, like, do it later when you actually have time to do something with it? Yeah, I'm going to just investigate here. I'm 1 up. Succeed. All right, great. We have another clue. Let's move on. Upkeep. And another one. Easy mark. Okay. I don't need easy mark. Go away. Don't need you. Moving on. Doom goes up to 5 out of 8. I'm so dead. So, what's interesting with this one to me so far, I want to talk about this, is I have been as, like, horribly screwed in this one as any of the others, but it hasn't felt so bad. It's felt kind of, like, easy breezy, because I haven't been, like, hyper threatened. I've just been, like, inconvenienced and slowed down to the point where I'm going to lose by Doom, but I'm not, like, hounded by monsters and getting destroyed. I don't know. It's weird. Then again, I do have some lovely dogs to keep me company, so everything's better with dogs around. We encounter Roach Swarm. We'll use our first action to kill them. Oh, what's that do? -X, that's 3. I fail. Okay, I fail. Yeah. That's disappointing. I guess I can't just, I'll use an improvised weapon, I guess. Crap. Okay. I spend 1 on an improvised weapon. It will do 2 damage if it succeeds. They are only swinging for 2, and I'm only swinging for 3. So I will also commit a Glimmer of Hope to this, to be 2 up. Negative -1. Okay, great. So we'll succeed. This gets shuffled into my deck. Glimmer of Hope goes over here. I think I might pick up these Glimmer of Hopes, actually. This gets discarded. Yeah, I'll use my last action just to pick up my Glimmer of Hopes. Spend 1. 1, 2. Oh, wait a minute. Well, how's my hand size? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to discard. But I have these 2 to discard, so that's not so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll be at 10. I'll have to discard 2. Yeah, I'll just discard these 2. I'm totally okay with that. That's fine. That's super fine. Great. All right, cool. That's my turn. I'm feeling lovely. Should I be? Probably not, but I am. We'll do that, and then we'll just draw another one. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I need 1-2 punch. I'm feeling really good. And having just like 2 symbols I can commit is great. Discard that, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll discard these 2. Beautiful. Now, interestingly enough, this gives me how many? 2 additional slots? Okay, so I actually can hold 2 dogs if I had a second dog, which I don't. My other dog is in here. And Miss Doyle. Ah, lovely. Do I have time to set up? It's a little bit late in the mission, so probably not, but that's okay. We'll move on to our upkeep. We go up to 6 out of 8. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna doom out. It's weird, like, I know I'm gonna doom out, but I haven't felt like super harried, so I feel fine. I'm just like, hey, I'm just like looking around the asylum, and eventually they're gonna throw me out, and that's fine. You know, I'm not in like a weird, creepy mansion. I'm just like in an asylum. It's like a normal place where people go. Maniac. If it engages you, take a damage and then deal a damage to the maniac. Oh, crap. Well, it's actually the first time I've taken damage. Boop. Great. Now this one has 3, which is out of my threshold. That's another thing that's been really nice about this one, is that everything's been at 2 health, which I can actually deal with. I actually almost added like coup de grace to this deck just to like be able to deal with things at 3 health, hit them once, and then coup de grace them. Maybe I should have done that, but I did not. You don't do anything, right? You just hang out here. I think I'm just going to evade you and then leave. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm evading at 4 to their 1. I think I'll just do that. That's my first action. I succeed. Great. Hope you feel better. I'm glad you're in the infirmary. You seem hurt. And I kind of want to set up weirdly. Okay, I want to get this like Rod of Animism in play and maybe an extra dog or something, but I don't really have time for that. I think I will actually. I'm going to spend 2 to put into play Rod of Animism. That will get rid of my Moonstone, unfortunately. And then I will spend 3. Oh, wait, I don't have time for that. I was thinking I was able to get the... Yeah, no. I don't have time for that. Alright, I'll just tap these 2 and skedaddle. I was hoping I would be able to use all 3 of them, but don't have time. Alright, moving on. Upkeep. Oh, hello. And what do I lose? I lose a Winging It. That's okay. I can lose a Winging It. Man the Pallid Mask. Location farthest from all investigators. They're aloof. You can investigate at locations Shroud +2 to defeat them. They're otherwise just hanging out. So I guess the point of the Man in the Pallid Mask is that you want to defeat them a lot of times. Because they don't actually threaten you like as a weakness. Like this is not... Nothing about this guy is being like, haha, you've drawn your weakness. Something terrible is happening. It's more like an opportunity to defeat them, I guess. I like haven't drawn them the whole game, so I'm not really sure how to think about them. The farthest location from you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put them in the kitchen. They're just hanging out in the kitchen, you know. How do I know they're there? I don't know. It's fine. Alright. That was my upkeep. We move on. This goes up to 7. Yeah. I've done nothing. Cool. And while it's closing in, test X. X is your Shroud value, which is, I think, 4. If you fail, you must either take a horror. For each point. When I failed this the first time, did I forget to take horror for each point? I don't actually remember. Maybe I succeeded? I don't remember. I might have cheated there. I'm just gonna let it happen. Cool. I'm gonna shuffle a monster in the deck. The last one. What's the worst that could happen? I literally don't know. Alright. I will... Was there supposed to be something where, like, these, like... It didn't say to, like... Shuffle all of the ones that you have set aside or anything. Weird. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what these 5 do. They haven't come up yet. Alright. Let's try another door. Hopefully we find... do I want to put some stuff into play? I think I do. I don't have time for this. Yeah, I don't really have time. Let's get Miss Doyle into play anyway. Miss Doyle. My other slot offered to me by the Rod of Animism, because she is a creature. Wow. Cool. I get to choose from these 3 cards over here. One goes in my hand, which is... Does it go in my hand? How does it work again? Put one into play, the shuffle the other 2 into your deck. Great. Zeal enters play, do that thing. I can use them to fight. That's not super useful to me, honestly, but okay. The other 2 get shuffled into my deck. My deck is empty. How did I go through my deck so fast? I guess I'm drawing 2 cards a turn, but interesting. Yeah, I don't know. This one's like felt really nice. Like I know I'm gonna lose, but also like I just feel like really chill about it. It's like, yeah, no, this is lovely. A lovely visit. Anyway, that was my first action. I'm gonna go check out door number 2. They're equally likely to have them in there. There's no reason for me to like go to one over another. Yeah, spend a clue. Hey, it's a 2. I can actually do this. Maybe. Forced. After patient confinement is revealed, advance to Act 2B. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's Daniel's cell. It says right there. Wow. I did it. I got to Act 2B. When you enter his cell, you find Daniel huddled in a corner of the room, sobbing and rocking back and forth on the ground. No mask, no mask, he stammers over and over. You help him to his feet and ask him what he remembers about the King in Yellow, but he interrupts you. Don't speak his name, he exclaims frantically, his eyes wide with a yellow glow. Nigel made us speak his name. He made us speak the oath, and now he lives inside us, controlling us. Don't you understand? He rambles on. The man approaches, wearing a crazed expression, and you take a wary step backward. We spoke his name, and the price was paid. Hastur, Hastur, O King! Then, suddenly, he transforms before your very eyes. His bones twist and snap. His body warps grotesquely. The symbol carved into his forehead burns bright, and a yellow glow emanates from within his body. He lunges at you. Spawn to set aside Daniel Chesterfield, enemy side up. At Daniel's cell. There they are. He's not doing too well. Oh, sorry. There's a second card under there. Is this the enemy side or the... There it is. Daniel Chesterfield, or at least what's left of him. Great. If you control Clasp of Black Onyx, you can parlay. You show Daniel the clasp, and he staggers backwards, collapsed into a motionless husk. Add him to victory display. Oh! Sweet. I do not have that. Great. Put this aside. And that was my first action, I think. No, my second action. I played Miss Doyle first. Cool. Well, I guess, yeah, no, they're not, like, massive or anything. They're just on me. They're not so bad. I just hope I don't, like, kill them, I guess. What else am I gonna do? Oh, what's this say? With or without Daniel, you have to get out of this place as soon as you can. Well, why'd I even bother finding him then? Ignore the text on the unrevealed side of Arkham Asylum locations. If the investigators have performed 4 of the following, you must advance. Know the guards' patrols, set a fire in the kitchen, incite a fight amongst the patients, released a dangerous patient, recalled the way out, distracted the guards. I'm not doing 4 of those things. That's not happening. I guess I could just, like, end my turn and doom out right now. I feel pretty okay about what I've done here. Yeah. You know, I almost added the, let's get out of here. Resign, assuming there is a resign option available, play this to just resign, which I think is really funny. Because there's been so many options where I'm just like, you could just leave, and I would like to just leave right now, and it would save me movement time. I guess I'm gonna beat this guy up with my last... Oh, I only have 1 action left. Yeah, no matter what I do, I only have 1 action left. Fight with a base of 5. If you discarded Zeal, the test is automatically successful. It still only does 1 damage, though. So, you know. Still only does 1 damage, though. Yeah, no, I'm out of actions. If I didn't play Doyle, I could have done 1 fight with the sled dogs and then 1 fight with the improvised weapon, and that might have been enough. I legit have no idea if defeating them is good. I guess they're worth victory, so that's something. Yeah, I guess I'll just, I'll hit him, why not? Boom! Yeah, cool. So, they take 2 damage. And my turn ends. I will technically draw, because it's, I guess you're supposed to. I get an extra card. This goes in my discard pile. And we advance. Cool. The walls close in. Your vision blurs. There is screeching in your ears. You are grabbed and cannot fight back. You call for help, but nobody comes to your aid. You look for a way to escape, but instead, you see the pallid mask of the stranger staring back at you. Around every corner, behind every door, staring at you, through every window. That mask. That damned mask. Or perhaps, it is you who wears the mask. Each investigator who has not resigned is defeated. If any investigator resigned, those investigators may immediately advance to Act 4B. What? If any investigators resigned, they can go to Act 4B. That's... Oh, okay. Interesting. I see. Huh. How do you resign? There's another... Oh, I guess there's another card here. There's another card unless you resign. I see. Okay, cool. This is such a weird card. I don't know. Like, if I'm looking at the agenda deck, like, straight up, I don't feel exceptionally, like, intimidated by this. I don't know. Like, I guess I'm supposed to feel, like, freaked out and, like, claustrophobic and, like, everything is closing in around me, but I don't. I just feel like I went to the asylum to visit a patient. Like, I feel like there's a disconnect. Even when the, like, big old monsters showed up. I'm like, yeah, no, there's some roaches. Yeah, it's like when rats show up in your house in the beginning of the game, you know, and like Night of the Zealot. You know, there's some roaches. It's fine. Like, I don't know. I feel the disconnect between the. I didn't feel like as a player, I knew, hey, you know, you're about to run out of Doom. But it's not like one of the games where it's like, and there's a giant monster fighting you, like the first mission, right? The first scenario where I'm just like fighting a massive, grotesque, like, abomination. Like, that was really intimidating. Or like when you're fighting, you know, when the like party you go to, everyone turns into a monster and tries to kill you. Here, I'm just like, I went to the asylum. It was weird there was no orderlies, but like, no one even told me to leave. Like, I don't. It's very weird. It's very. I don't get it. I guess we'll be defeated and go see what no resolution looks like. Defeated is an interesting word. I guess I take horror, like I take trauma, because it's defeated as opposed to like move to resolution. There is no resolution. Do not read. Before resolving any other resolution, if at least one investigator was defeated, the defeated investigators read. Investigator defeat first. Dr. Mintz, the patient has been medicated and is ready to see you now. Nurse Heather opened the file on the desk nearby, taking a moment to review the patient's records. Any change in the patient's condition? Dr. Mintz asked, in a monotone voice. A formality. Both knew the patient was beyond repair. None. The patient's delusions remain, demanding to speak with the warden, claiming they are only guests, and rambling about that play that aired the other night, The King in Yellow. And the other crimes, the incident in the theater. What about 1452 Atlantic Avenue? They believed they were attacked and were defending themselves. Her voice was thick with pity. What could have caused somebody to snap like this so quickly? None of the patient's records showed any prior history of mental instability. Can you make sense of it, Doctor? Who could? Dr. Mintz sighed and stood, grabbing the file from his desk. My job is not to understand. It is to cure. Perhaps my experimental procedures will prove fruitful on this one. The nurse winced and felt goosebumps on her arm. She knew how his procedures would turn out, and she doubted it would prove anything. Each investigator who is defeated is driven insane. If there are not enough investigators to continue the campaign is over, and the players lose. If another resolution was reached, the remaining investigators proceed to that resolution. If no resolution was reached, each investigator was defeated. Good resolution 1. Okay, there's more. And so ended the madness of the King in Yellow. In your campaign log, record that the King claimed its victims. If there are not enough investigators to continue the campaign is over and the players lose. Otherwise, the campaign continues. Each player whose investigator has been driven insane must choose a new investigator from the pool of available investigators. Check campaign log. If you took the Onyx clasp, choose a new investigator to take the clasp. That investigator must include the Clasp of Black Onyx weakness in their deck. This card does not count towards the investigator's deck size. Each investigator earns experience equal to the Victory X value of each card in the Victory display. If Constance Dumaine, a little too sociable, is in the Victory display, record her name in the campaign log under VIP Slain. Remove all Cultist, Tablet, and Elder Thing tokens from the Chaos Bag. Then add 2 Cultist tokens to the Chaos Bag. Skip Interlude 2, Lost Soul, and proceed directly to Scenario 5, A Phantom Truth. Presumably, the statement, the players lose, means I should not skip to Interlude 2, Lost Souls. So, that brings us to the end of Garbage Queen of Arkham, I suppose. The game said it's over. This doesn't really surprise me. I have heard that there is a point in which, if you're defeated, you lose. Although I kind of didn't realize it was like you lose. I thought it was like your character is gone and you make a new character. I didn't realize it was like the game is over, which is interesting to me. I still think there's a weird disconnect. Like, I didn't feel... This is the least threatened I have felt by a scenario so far. And it's the harshest defeat. Like, I think that's really odd. Like, the first scenario, there's a big monster. I am being, like, bombarded by, like, horrific screams and this weird discordant song. And I just wake up outside with, like, some trauma. The next one, I go into a place, it's full of, it's like a lovely party, and then it gets all weird, and there's monsters at the party for some reason, and people start trying to kill you, and I don't even make it out in time. Did I? I think maybe I resigned. I don't remember exactly. And then I burned the place down, which, like, okay, we're showing some mental instability. I decide to burn the place down, you know, fair. And then this one, I didn't feel, or then there was the one where we go check the archives, right? And there was cultists there, and they were trying to kill me, and I was like, these cultists are trying to kill me. And then there's a creepy thing shows up. There's this creepy thing shows up and is like, hey, I'm a creepy thing, I'm gonna kill you, and you can't hurt me, and I was like, ah! And this wasn't that. Like, this was really nice. Like, I was just slow. Like, I didn't feel... I don't know, it's weird. And maybe the idea is like, well, you become unhinged. There is no monster. Right? There's no big, terrifying monster. It's just you. It's just you. And maybe that's the point. I don't know. I find it weird. So... I'm not that broken up about it. Honestly, the last few, like, scenarios with this deck have felt very, like, this is a deck that I think is an interesting concept, and I would be more interested in workshopping the deck and making it sing before playing it again than actually, like, struggling through trying to make it work in play, which is what I did here. I didn't get enough experience to be able to buy into anything interesting. I didn't think the foundation of the deck was good enough. I am glad I got this last mission where I got to, like, really use the dogs. The dogs felt great, and it reminded me, like, ooh, I really wanted to use them, and it was really cool seeing them in action again. I don't know how I would, like, make them more consistent. Like, if I was trying to... Like, what have I learned from this? How would I build this deck differently from the ground up? If the goal is to get the dogs into play, is there a way I can expedite that process? And... I don't know if there is, weirdly. They're just in the deck somewhere, you know? That's it. That's all there is to it. So, mostly this deck has inspired me to build my new deck concept, which is the same idea, have a little bit of a discard package to go with short supply, and utilize Lola to get the resource generation cards from lots of different factions. So you can have a critical mass of resources to be able to do stuff with like permanent quick action, spend a resource to get a benefit. And I'm interested in playing that out, but what's interesting is I'm not really doing a campaign with that deck. I am actually workshopping it. Like I was talking about how this deck would actually need workshopping as opposed to just going in blind and seeing what happens, which is what I did here. So the other deck I'm working on is very... here is the stuff, and I'm running through the first chapter of Zealot, and then I'm tweaking things, and I'm doing it again. And that's been really interesting and really useful. Obviously, that's a very different scenario. Every scenario is different, so I think a lot of people do build decks around the scenarios as opposed to just building an all general purpose deck. But I'm more interested in going into things blind, so that's less interesting to me. But I still am interested in doing this kind of workshop this deck, see what you can do with it, then take it into a campaign. So, will we see Lola, Garbage Queen of Arkham again? Perhaps. Perhaps we will. But that brings us to the end of Path to Carcosa. Maybe not the end everyone was hoping for, but maybe the ending we deserved. It was a mess. It was a mess the whole time. Well, with that, we've ended almost exactly on time. So I wish you all a lovely night. And I'll catch you next time. I've been Darcy Bits. This has been Garbage Queen of Arkham, Path to Carcosa. Have a good night. Okay. Hello, chat. How are you all doing? Technically, you take no trauma.